Why are you a street pastor?
Well, I believe that it's my calling from God. If you look at the life of Jesus, he cared passionately about people, and most of the time you would find him out on the streets looking out for people and caring for them. And as one of his disciples, that's what I want to do.
It's great fun. I absolutely love it. Every time I come out, like the day, during the day, I just sort of get this sense of I really enjoy it. It originally started because somebody from our church came in and talked to us, and it was just after my 18th birthday. I'd been out and seen what it was like on the streets, and I felt that this was perfect. Something needs to be done, and this was it.
I went out as an observer, observing a team one night, and God spoke to me and said, this is something that you need to do. And it was taking the church out onto the streets and showing that Christians care about people in their community.
What difference do street pastors make?
I think it's at very many levels. There's a practical difference in helping people who've got themselves into trouble in one way or another. There's also the befriending aspect of it, making those who work in the night economy feel valued and that they're doing a good job and are being supported. But there's also the more subtle spiritual role that we play by simply being on the streets and presencing Christ within the community.
Sometimes it's just as simple as a free pair of flip-flops, but that can almost restore someone's faith in humanity, they've told us. And then sometimes, you're the first one there providing, first aid, or someone who's completely alone and vulnerable. You help them get home when something terrible could happen to them if you weren't there.
We've also done a lot of work to show that statistically we bring peace to the streets, and we lower the arrest rate in the city centre, and we also lower the admissions into A&E with alcohol-related admissions.
When you go out as a street pastor, what do you take in your rucksack?
Oh, we take lots of things in the rucksack. You'd think we were climbing Kilimanjaro when we go out. We carry bottles of water to help people rehydrate. We carry flip-flops for young ladies who walk through town barefoot at night. We carry a first aid kit to help with minor first aid injuries. Lots of things in the rucksack.
When you go out on a Saturday night, do you feel scared wearing the street pastor uniform?
I've never felt scared going out wearing the street pastor uniform. People look forward to seeing us, they accept us. And what you must remember is that 99% of the people out on the streets are there having a good time, and it's great to be part of that good time.
We are very well received on the streets. We have a very good relationship with the police and the door staff on the pubs and clubs, and I've never felt scared or fearful at all.
I feel more scared in Chester during the day than at night. We're wearing the uniform, we're on CCTV, and most people like us.
Do you preach when you go out as a street pastor?
No, actions speak louder than words. The way we go out and we just be a presence there, even if we're not actually directly interacting with someone, I think our presence is enough. And then we get the opportunity to talk to people after they see what we've done, and that opens up channels, but we don't preach.
We never preach. What we do is we listen to people. We get alongside them and we listen to their stories. And sometimes when we listen to their stories, they want to hear our stories, and that's when they get to learn about the love of Jesus. Every Christian almost should get out on the streets and see what the streets are like, and get alongside people and help and do this sort of work.
How do other night workers respond to you, like doormen, etc., etc.?
Well, when we first went out 6 years ago, there was a sort of, what are you doing here, what are you for? Most people didn't get it, but 6 years in, we will be warmly welcomed by the door staff we know. We've got to know some of the door staff and some of their problems. There's one guy that we were praying for as he went through a serious illness. There's one lady who was on door staff who went through a lot of problems, and week by week we would say, how's it going? The guy who works the crematorium, who I see in my other job, he works nights as well. So there's quite a camaraderie built up, and there's usually a bit of banter on how you're doing, and judging from each other how well the night's going to go. It's going to be good, is it going to be tranquil, or is it going to be busy? That sort of thing.
Please, can you give one good thing and one bad thing about being a street pastor?
Oh, that's a very difficult question in terms of the good things. There are so many things about being a street pastor that's fantastic. Meeting new people, working with a team, you know, being out on the streets, working collaboratively with our friends and colleagues in other agencies. So lots of positive things about being a street pastor. The worst thing, I think, is cold, wet nights.
Being with other Christians that have got a heart for God and wanting to go out as well is fantastic, being part of that family. One of the worst things, I suppose, staying up really, really late at night and being a bit tired the next morning, but that's not really a bad thing. So if that's the worst thing, then that's not a bad thing at all, is it?
One of the great things about being a street pastor is working with all different Christians from all sorts of different denominations and understanding that the common thread is the love of Jesus, and it's absolutely fantastic. I suppose the worst thing is the late nights and sort of coming back in the early hours of the morning. But I have to say that even at 3 o'clock in the morning, on a December morning, you can still hear birdsong if you stand and listen.